Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and if you're watching on video, recording in a different spot this week, recording from the center stage desk this week, just because we have a lot going on right now. We are marketing makeover winner. If you remember that big promotion that we were doing at the end of last year, our winner is here this week, and we're going to be working with him a lot and doing basically a year's worth of marketing with him over the course of a couple of days. And so keep an eye out on our social media channels just for some recaps of that and everything that we're doing with him. And so we're super excited about that. But this week, wanted to talk about just kind of an issue that we've seen a couple of times in talking with people, especially as it relates to just working with other companies, and kind of one of the tactics that marketing companies sometimes use to try to make you stay with them. And that is basically what's called a proprietary platform. You know, they will build your website on their quote unquote proprietary platform. And basically what that means is a lot of times they will tell you that, oh yeah, you own your website. You know, if you leave, you can take your website with you. We don't retain anything, but then they build it on this proprietary platform. And when you do decide to leave and you take your website elsewhere, it breaks immediately because it only works on their platform. And so when you try to move it to another host or to another marketing company, things break really easily. Or if a new person comes in, a new webmaster comes in and tries to make some updates to it, it will completely break down and they won't know how to fix it because they didn't build that system to begin with. And so it's one of those just, read between the lines in the contract sort of thing. Because they're technically not lying. They will give you your website if you decide to leave. They just don't tell you it's not going to work. And I don't know that they necessarily have to, because they don't, at this point, there's enough anecdotal evidence to show that it won't work once you leave, but they wouldn't have any proof on their end, I don't think, to justify saying that. But either way, regardless, it's not a good practice. For us, I can speak to what we do. We tell people you can keep your website and it won't break. We've had a couple of times where past clients will come back to us and say, hey, I'm trying to update the website and I can't figure it out. And we'll tell you, we build it on WordPress, but it's not like a proprietary WordPress system that we use. It's pretty straightforward. And we can show people how we do it. It's just not a huge secret of ours, and retaining ownership of anything has just never been something that's been super important to us. We're proud of the websites that we build. We're proud of the content that we make. We're not just going to keep it to ourselves. We'll let our clients have it. They're paying us for doing that work. It just makes sense to let them keep it. But so in general, though, that is one thing that you should definitely keep an eye on. If a marketing company says they're going to build your website and they, tout that it's on this proprietary platform and that it performs super well, that's great as long as you stay with them. Because if you decide to cancel, if you decide to move somewhere else, one of two things is going to happen. They are either going to retain ownership of that website. Your website's going to go offline until you get a new one put up with a new marketing company, which can do a lot of harm to your business if you don't time it up right. But the other thing that will happen is if you try to take your website with you, if your marketing company says, hey, yeah, you can take it with you, you own it 100%. If you try to move it to another platform, to another host, it's not going to load the same way. It's not going to render the same way. It's going to break. And then no one's going to know how to fix it except that old marketing company, who's then going to charge you non-client rates, more than likely, hundreds of dollars an hour to go in and make a couple of tweaks that they can do otherwise in like 5 minutes. So those are just, it's one of those things that you just, it's risk mitigation. At the end of the day, it's one of those things where you just think about, is this something that really matters? Is it something that's important to me? And I think if ownership of your website and the sort of peace of mind that if you in the relationship with the designer or the company that made it for you, that it's not going to disappear and it's not going to break, and it's not, that you're not going to have to worry about that if and when the time comes that you move on. And that's one of the unfortunate things about the marketing world, and kind of why maybe marketing vendors may have a little bit of a bad reputation in some industries, and it's because of stuff like this right here. It's a really crappy way to do business. So if you're not sure of what your website situation is, I would find out. Find out from your designer, your webmaster, your marketing company, whoever did it, and find out what the situation is. Is the website that got built for you on a proprietary platform? And if it is, what happens if you decide to leave? Because that's real important to know, and for you to plan in case you ever do move somewhere else. So like if it's on a proprietary platform, but you can retain ownership of it, you better have a plan in place to have a new website up from day one. And even like designers can like replicate it. If you really do like the look and the feel and the layout of it, a good designer can replicate that website with some improvements. But if you can't, if it's on a proprietary platform and you're not allowed to keep it, either way, you got to have a plan in place to have a new website up with a new company before you end up leaving the company that you're with. So just a couple of things to keep in mind, but that's kind of what that means when you hear that phrase proprietary platform. Typically not actually good. It's fine when you're working with the company that built the website, but if you ever decide to leave and work with someone else, it's not going to work out that well for you. And that's kind of one of the reasons why those kinds of companies do that. It's a stickiness sort of thing, and makes it harder for you to leave, which it's the cost of doing business, I guess. But hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully maybe you've heard that term before, but that's generally what it means. All right, so that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you all for continuing to listen and support the show. Had a bunch of new listeners pop up here over the last couple of weeks, so welcome, and hope you're enjoying things so far. But that's going to do it for us this week. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.